What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology horoscope for the weekend of February 18th and the 19th of 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. It's also a new moon in Pisces to close off the weekend, so hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend, had a good week, and let's see what's going on. We are going to see, of course, Saturday pretty edged out, if you will, but the sun is going to ingress at about, I think it's like 3:30 or 2:30. No, it's like 3:37, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Coast, going to come into Pisces. So we're finishing Aquarius season and getting ready for this new moon in Pisces. The moon is also dark in Aquarius and going to be in that balsamic phase. So it's one of those times, it's that time of the month where things are closing out. You don't want to stress. You don't want to push too hard. You really want to chill. The Venus and Neptune in Pisces is going to help with that. Venus is going to come to that 29th degree and get ready for that ingress into Aries as well, which is going to be that pop, maybe that we've all wanted or needed. It's also going to start its semi-square over, that's Mars. It's going to start a semi-square 45 degrees to Uranus in Taurus. So definitely kind of like some pop energy. Could definitely be feeling like it's on the brink. Also, the 28th, 29th degree of Pisces gets a little chaotic. So little bit of, it's like the ultimate magic, but it's the ultimate culmination, and that can bring a lot to the table as well. And in a dark moon phase, we can want to overdo things. Taking it easy is going to be better. It's definitely like all the Saturn energy that we're having, the last Sun-Saturn conjunction in a Saturn-ruled sign with Saturn for the next 25 years, Pluto finishing up for a little bit. It's going to come back, of course, but finishing up at 29 Capricorn. Like, this is a good weekend to just chill out. Take a break, do things that make you feel connected, have fun. It's like finding the right edge, the right connection, not, pushing extremely hard. But that moon is making some good aspects. Yes, it's conjunct Pandora's box, which we've been talking about with Mercury, so we could be feeling the effects of what we've understood opened up and what kind of is coming out and revealing itself, especially with Pluto finishing in Capricorn. There is a lot of revealing going on here, but it's going to make really good aspects over to Jupiter with a sextile, over to Chiron with a sextile. It is going to square the nodes at the same time today. And it will finish the day square Uranus in Taurus. So we're definitely feeling some kind of erratic energy. We're also trying to navigate, I guess, how to find the beauty and slow things down. And I think that's the beauty of the North Node in Taurus, is like you'll feel more connected when you slow down. You'll feel more in tune with your emotions. You'll feel more emotional intelligence when you slow down. The push is going to be difficult, but there is a lot that can come through in the chill moments. It's almost like the more we slow down and chill, the more we do find the right ways to connect, the right ways to navigate, and, come into this surrendered state. We're coming into Pisces, and we have a new moon to close out tomorrow evening. So Saturday is like a big moment to like not go into the madness, but to go into the chill, go into the zen. The more zen you can find on Saturday, the better. And hopefully that's easy for all of us to find. It might not be. We might have things we have to do. We might have responsibilities or plans that have already been made, and that's perfectly fine. Go about your life as you may, but know that like if things do get edgy or intense or chaotic, that we do have to take some deep breaths and like go through it and not stress, because we could get a little worked up at the same time. And it's almost like we don't need to be. We can really see the gifts come into by finding comfort and stability. Gifts will come in through your own comfort and stability through the chaotic world that we live in. Maybe not all of us, but there's a weird world out there. Hopefully we're creating a world and an environment that feels good and not too erratic and not too whoa, but we're starting to feel the pop, like I mentioned before. And the moon will also trine Mars to finish off Saturday as well. So, I mean, that does make us want to go. That does give us a little pop, more of the pop energy that we're kind of feeling. But I think it's like you'll know instinctively what's correct, what's the truth, what makes sense, what's logical. So that's where it's like, it's very easy to know where to go because it makes sense. If there's a bunch of question marks and you feel the chaotic energy, I would say don't just jump into something to jump into something because you feel like you have to. It's really like if you can chill out, you'll feel better. I promise you that. Saturday, before the new moon, we're going to see my lunar return, of course, at 24 degrees of Aquarius. But that's not important. But the sun is fully locked and loaded into Pisces, and it's going to come to that first degree where we will see the new moon. I'll pull that chart up in a second, but it is Moon Saturn. And, that can bring stress of its own. That can bring, aspects where we have to be emotionally mature. And that can take, all of the lessons that we've learned. It's that time of the month where it's like, okay, I've been learning lessons my whole life. Now I got to integrate those lessons in an intelligent, emotionally intelligent way. And you'll be okay, but it could definitely feel like, whoa, this is something I got to learn from and live from, and something I got to, I have to do this. This is important. This is something I dedicated myself to, or something I really do want to, pursue. So I have to keep on keeping on. And it is dark, so this could be a weird Moon Saturn because it is a dark moon, and Moon Saturn's already hard enough. So it is weird because we kind of want to chill out because we're getting ready for this new Piscean energy, which does open all the doors and it takes the boundaries away. But it's almost like you have to be responsible with your personal life, with what you're doing, and make sure you're not going too hard. Too hard could be at detriment too, like I mentioned before. But there is also things that we're just going to have to do, even though we don't want to. But it's how we deal with that without pushing ourselves or without overexerting maybe our emotions, to just be emotionally solid. It is about the being solid part that I think is very important too. And Venus is also, at 29 Pisces, getting ready to make her ingress in the evening into Aries, which might be, I actually didn't look, but it might be right before, it potentially is right before the new moon, but it might be right after. So that's kind of an edgy thing that we'll see in the next chart. I didn't look ahead to go into that too much, but during the day, it is going to feel like a little restrictive. We're going to want to figure out how to responsibly delegate and intelligently delegate our emotions. That's going to be the trick, because the sun's coming into Pisces and we're definitely vulnerable to all the emotions, all the feelings, all the sensitivities, which is a beautiful thing, but it can also be chaotic with Venus at 29 degrees semi-square Uranus in Taurus, and with Mercury that's working on its square over to Uranus in Taurus too, which is definitely, could feel like our minds are fried a little bit, but there's insight that comes from it. There's an acceleration, big time when it comes to our logical understandings, of like a very logical understanding. So I guess we're trying to find a happy medium here between logic and the dream world, and chilling out and floating around and being the etherical beings that we are. But guess what? We also are. We're physical beings. So finding that happy medium could be really important as we build up to the new moon, which I think is important to just jump into that chart and talk about the new moon, because it is happening at 11:05 p.m. on the West Coast. So the East Coast, it will be on February 20th. But here we are, new moon in Pisces. Boom, 1 degree. This is a very self-focused degree. And it's interesting because Pisces doesn't really deal with the self. It deals with the dissolution of ego and really coming into the spiritual. So you could say that this new moon is very important to develop your strong spiritual ego, but not from the just me perspective, which is so fitting because we have Jupiter coming to 10 degrees just a couple hours later, and it's within 3-degree orb of Chiron in Aries. So like I've been saying, the ego is an interesting thing right now. We need it, but it has to be from a spiritually mature place. And that will help us identify bigger meaning, more strength, more drive that we do need, and a strong belief in that drive. But that belief is definitely tied to something more. It's more selfless than self. So you're going to find that when you're doing things out of a selfless place, that those are the things that are opening up. When it's super like selfish and I just want this and I'm doing this, then Saturn at this 28th degree of Aquarius is like, you're forgetting about everybody else. You're forgetting about the collective, and you're just focusing on only you. Yes, focus on yourself, find your individuality, be yourself, but you have to have compassion and love for everything, and that will help. Even if we don't resonate, that's fine. We don't have to resonate with it, but don't let it spin you into a chaotic tailspin. Like, that's going to be the trick for this lunation, and with Venus for this right at 29:57 in that tight semi-square. And that's just building with Uranus. So it's going to be an interesting lunation. I feel like we're going to see some really weird market stuff, some really weird world stuff. We're going to see, Pisces can rule chaos. So just as we're culminating here and getting ready to start after this lunation, after Pisces season, this next astrological year, which will include a Pluto coming into Aquarius, Mars finally getting out of Gemini, and even Jupiter coming into, of course, Taurus, and Saturn coming into Pisces. Like, there's so much about to begin that we haven't felt in a very long time, or ever, right? Pluto, haven't felt that ever in Aquarius in our lives. So there's definitely a lot that's going to dissolve. There's a lot that's going to fade away. Our ego can hate that, especially with a South Node in Scorpio, because our ego can get our mind crazy with Mars in Gemini, and it can definitely spin us with Pluto at 29 Capricorn about all these things that we thought was the mission, the purpose, the dedication, and those things are all of a sudden like taking a weird turn. But they're only taking a weird turn because they're meant to, and I think that that's where faith in Pisces season becomes so important. Like, you have to have the ultimate faith right now. If life gets chaotic, it's for a reason, because it's helping you identify a new story, and it's helping you move on. So this is where we, have to dissolve, let things go, have faith, compassion, love. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is connected. There's so much purpose here, but it might not have been what your ego thought it was. This can happen to each and every one of us in some fashion, but it could just be the identification of this whole planet is going through a crazy place right now, and it could look pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie. This year has it's gotten off to a start for sure, but we're really starting to see what 2023 is all about. And it is the year of the rabbit, so agile, quick, movement is important. It's going to keep you safe. That's how rabbits stay safe. They are very alert, and they move, and they don't think about it. So there's a lot of instincts that go into this, especially spiritually and frequency-wise about what's up. Venus still in that square, building up to Uranus. So again, our minds, we can go into some weird, far out places. We gotta find we do need to find some grounded authority here, because there's so much in these far out energies, especially with Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and then the Uranus aspects mixed in. Like, yeah, we gotta keep ourselves here, because that's another side of Pisces too, is we can want to escape, we can want to numb out, we can want to, it can be self-undoing. I feel like we are coming into a time here where we really want to make sure that we're not just unraveling. Like, it's almost like a one wrong move spiritually that you're aware of, because that's what I think it comes down to for each and every one of us, is the awareness. One little slip of your awareness when you know spiritually, intuitively, within your soul that it's the wrong move for you, could unravel the whole thread. It's like your sweater had a thread, it got closed in a car door or something, and you didn't know, and you walk away, and all of a sudden your sweater is just like in a cartoon, like gone. So it is that energy we're stepping into, where it's not about being overly cautious, but it is about the instinctive spiritual awareness and maturity that is so important. Otherwise, you will unravel yourself, and I don't want to see anybody do that. So if you know something isn't good for you, and you think it's just going to give a quick fix, or get a quick hit of some kind of a dopamine or some kind of just feeling that you think is going to make everything better, but really it's detrimental, you can end up in a very weird place. And I just want to be honest with you guys. This is a beautiful new moon, but it's starting a cycle where you're going to have to be very spiritually strong, spiritual warrior, and use that awareness for your best interest, and not to go backwards or try and hold on too tight to something that is dissolving, because we could go crazy. You're going to see there's going to be people that are going to go crazy. So, yeah, it's because it's this ego. It's going to want to, we're healing our ego by surrendering and realizing it's connected to so much more. And there's doors, and there's a journey that's opening up from God in our lives. And if we don't listen to that calling, it's wow. Which, look, people are going to have to go through whatever they're supposed to go through. So again, there's no judgment in Pisces. This isn't Virgo. This is like acceptance. Let people do what they got to do. We're not here to save anybody, and we're definitely not here to play the victim or the martyr, or to play the wounded, guru, the wounded ego either. So this is a moment of extreme healing, and extreme, definitely spiritual growth that we're all ready for it. That's the cool thing. It's just now we get to test it and make sure that we're putting ourselves in the right spot and doing the right thing for ourselves and our dreams and our goals, that are connected with a really strong feeling in our soul. So, has its upsides for sure, but it is bringing some intensity and some radicality, and definitely we're going to see some changes take place. So, we got this. We're here for it. Don't be tripping. It's definitely not a time to trip. That's the thing. Anytime we start mentally tripping ourselves out, we're going to have to soothe ourselves spiritually by taking some mental breaks. It's a very important time to tune in. As, Timothy Leary would say, tune out to tune in. So, if you got to tune out of something, it's because you need to tune in to yourself, your heart, your feelings, and to not escape those at the same time. All right, let's see what the cards are for this weekend. 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, we want to avoid some conflict. We want to chill out. We need to chill. Things are going to happen as they happen. Don't stress, don't worry, don't fight, things. Just take a step back. There's no competition. We're really not going to get an award for any of this. That's the crazy part too. This isn't about some accolade. This is like your self accolade. So there's no point in fighting others, fighting the world, fighting everything. Just chill out. No competition. Don't stress. Everything is going to work in a very, very divine manner, and you'll be good. 7 of Coins in reverse. I mean, that's the thing. Is we could have put so much effort, so much work into some aspect in our life, and all of a sudden it's completely not working anymore. It's not going to show up with an investment. It's not going to feel satisfying. It's going to feel frustrating. And we have to pay attention to these things, because if we just keep hammering away with frustrations, they're going to compound fast. So, 3 of Wands. Yeah, I mean, I think there's just so much out there. So it's wild, because anytime we're fighting ourselves and staying in things that bring us frustration, we're missing out on all the abundance that's out in front of us. We have a whole universe on our side, believe it or not, to help us through anything that does take place. So you have to have that faith, and you have to have that will spiritually to see that there's so many infinite opportunity, infinite abundance, but it takes a different kind of courage and a different kind of will right now to be okay with making the switch, making the jump. All right. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful new moon. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Much love. Peace.